Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you all here. Nice packed house. It's good to see you. Yeah. Basically, I'm going to turn it over to Stacey Cochran, who has put this whole thing together, and he's going to be the moderator. And afterwards, we do have books for sale downstairs, and the authors will be available to sign the books and answer any questions that they don't have a chance to get to today. So, Stacey, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. So a writer died and was given the opportunity to go to heaven or hell. And she said, well, let me check out each place first. And as she descended into the fiery pits, she noticed row upon row of writers, chained to desks, being whipped with thorny lashes. She said, oh my, well, let me see heaven now. And as she ascended into heaven, she saw row upon row of desks with writers chained to these desks, being whipped with thorny lashes. And she said, wait a minute, this is the same as hell. Oh, no, it's not, replied an unseen voice. Here, your work gets published. Folks, I'm here to tell you that heaven has arrived in the form of Lulu.com. I'd like to introduce our writers first. To my left, we have John Batson, who is the author of The Rand's Conspiracy and Songwriter's Hookbook. An internationally performing musician, he has sung before the Kennedys, the Vice Premier of China, and has produced numerous Hollywood musicals. Gene Curtis, to John's left here, is a retired police sergeant who grew up in the Carolinas and Virginia. His novel, The Seventh Mountain, Chronicles of a Magi, is a young adult fantasy novel. Best-selling author Jeremy Robinson called it, quote, a pure delight, and said, quote, Curtis wields a tremendous imagination and uses it to transport the reader to another world. We have from down on the coast, K. Robert Campbell, who is the author of The Fifth Category, a suspense thriller about a country lawyer named Cameron Scott, who, while investigating the murder of a client, uncovers a group of federal bureaucrats that plan to overthrow the U.S. government from within. Additionally, to keep things varied here, we have another Lulu author by the name of Gabriel Gurley. Gabriel is the author of a conceptual guide to OpenOffice 2.0, an easy-to-use guide to providing instruction for the world's most popular open-source office productivity suite, openoffice.org. The book includes 9 hands-on lessons that walk users step-by-step through the creation of the most common documents created with an office suite. We also have a member of the Lulu staff here today. Brian McWilliams works in the community department at Lulu, and he is on hand to answer any technical questions that you may have about Lulu.com. So I'd like to start with just the most general question, and I'll direct it to John here to my left. What is Lulu.com?
Lulu.com is a print-on-demand service for authors. You can put your book out through Lulu, you can put your collection of poems, you can put your CD. There's anything that can be published, you can put onto Lulu.com, and it's exciting that this is here. It's sort of like when the student is ready, the master will appear. Well, when the writers are ready, the publisher will appear, and now we have Lulu. It's great.
So, Gene, why did you decide to publish with Lulu? When there are so many options out there, why did you decide to go with Lulu?
It came down to Lulu was free, so I'd give them a try. After beating my head against the wall, sending manuscript to different publishers, getting wall calls, projection slips, and I said, well, this is a good story. I know it'll sell. And so I gave Lulu a try, and I've loved it ever since.
Let me piggyback on that. Sure. I did 1.5 years worth of research before I found Lulu. And I read, and it's not easy for me to read small type. I get so bored. And that's what they intend when they make small type. I found several companies that looked like Lulu. They, you know, you could put your book up without a penny down, and it was easy, and just follow this easy thing, and down and buried in the type it was, and all we get is your book rights. And I went, oh, I wave goodbye to my book as it goes free on this wonderful thing. And I read everything Lulu put out 3 times and didn't find that, and still haven't found it. So you keep your rights. They're yours. Your book is yours. With some of them out there, it's not. Your book rights are gone.
Let me turn it over to Brian here. Back to the general question. Since you work at Lulu, can you explain exactly what is Lulu.com?
Well, gentleman to your left there covered it very well. But what we really are is we are a technology company. We are not a publisher. We are called that, and we'll often call ourselves that because it's a convenient shorthand for what you hope and expect to get from us. But you are the publisher. Lulu is a technology company. Our founder is Bob Young, who founded Red Hat. And so he's got some credibility behind him in terms of technology plays. And it's fabulous having a man like that at the helm of this company, because he really can guide us and get us through through the technology piece. But we provide tools for authors and creators to publish and market and distribute their work. And that goes from getting it, my daughter was 14 and put this yearbook out for the Emerson Waldorf School here. Did it by herself. This is her project this year as a high school freshman, a short story anthology for the rest of her classmates. Again, did this on her own. We provide the tools, as Stacey said, for books, calendars, CDs, DVDs, images, all those things. It's free. You maintain your rights. You retain your rights. And the only time anybody spends any money is when someone purchases your work. You purchase your work, you pay. Someone else purchases your work, they pay. We pay you the royalties when that happens, and we take 20% of the royalty. So that's the catch. That's how Lulu makes our money, is we take 20% of the royalty that you set for your work. We also offer free support, but again, we don't claim to be editors. We don't claim to be illustrators. We don't offer any of those services because those services cost money. But we do have service providers in our network that are Lulu approved, and we can point you at those. Stacey, did that cover it?
I think that helps. I just wanted to make sure that everybody here gets a better sense of what Lulu.com is.
There's one other thing, if I could. I kept trying to remember it and almost forgot. Another thing that really sets us apart from a lot of the other options you have out there is we can get your book into distribution. We can get you an ISBN. We can get you into Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, those channels. Again, the marketing's up to you. Your book's not, if your book just sits there, it's going to just sit there. But that's the other, obviously, the key tool is getting that on the back of your book so that the bookstores and the global supply channel can get your book as well.